Hi everyone. Okay, right. The only thing you need to know is that she is addressing Anger Book, which is like her diary or journal. So that's the only thing you need to know. Anger Book. It wasn't a week later, after my catastrophic marriage proposal, lying supine, dozing on a futon in my dirty living room, I was awoken by two women having sex loudly in the apartment above me. Barry White was playing in the background, and while all this calamity was going on, I could hear them having a conversation. "Let me remove those stockings," one said. "I'm always so twisted," the other one said. "So am I," said the other one. Then cue the Barry White. I sat on the edge of the futon, but Anger Book, it might as well have been on the edge of the world. The tank top I had worn 3 days straight slung wide open to reveal a sad horizon of embrasiered breast, so tiny yet so oddly pendulous and saggy. And it wasn't just any futon, it was an antique, a kind of ancient ruin among futons. There was a hieroglyph carved into its composite wooden frame. Pearl Jam sucks. Writings that clearly dated all the way back to the 1990s era. A time when coincidentally, wearing the same clothes 3 days straight was seen as a fashion statement, not simply as a cry for help. There were panther-sized scratches grazed across its legs by a hideous, domesticated, and thankfully recently deceased creature known to me only as Mr. Cuddles, and a place on the left armrest that had clearly been gnawed upon in her last days as a final fuck you to the living, whom she so hated. There was a sad history here of human and feline misery, ageless yet dated in a southwestern motif. An erosion of fluff from all the bodies that had lain there before. The middle dipped like a cavernous valley. There was even wildlife here, in the form of several ants that doggedly traversed the futon's surface with crumbs from an ancient sour cream potato chip. "I can see your body in the mirror, like an angel." And as the pleasurable moans and screams from the lesbians upstairs hit an unyielding crescendo, I watched the ants. The burden of their crumbs, the size of their own tiny ant bodies, a spine of them, all with similar weight upon their backs. How tired they looked, how hopeless their mission. All this work for a tiny little crumb, laboring over a futon that probably seemed like an entire world to them. And I too, Anger Book, was tired of catering to crumbs. So tired of lugging the burden of them on this great big dirty futon called Earth. So ponderous, so large, yet so small and lumpy. And that's when I sank my face in my hands and began to sob, not just for me, but for all those ants in the world, mindlessly going around their days, settling for those daily bits of nothing. Then I inadvertently crushed several of them as I steadied myself on the futon to shake my fist at the lesbians upstairs. At 2 a.m. I was again awoken, this time by what sounded like a mewing puppy. But as I glowered at the ceiling, I knew it was no puppy. It was the lesbians upstairs. I flung myself up and stalked to the window and gazed at the deli across the street, the weak light of its sign always reminding me of the flickering eyelid of a stroke victim. "Let's go to the disco." What the fuck, disco? I pressed my forehead against the tepid glass of the window. It had been a sultry night, one where the entire world seemed wet, the very air smoked with mist. Anger Book, my pain was billowing like a mushroom cloud, an atomic explosion of angst that I was sure people in China could feel in their teeth. So how was it that the lesbians upstairs, a mere 12 feet away, couldn't feel my pain? I couldn't understand it. How could anyone fuck at a time like this? But it was when one of the girls screamed, "Jesus, help me!" while seeming to hit her climax that I lost it. I grabbed a chair and climbed it, stuck my foot right into its pliant wicker center, and I pounded my fist on the ceiling. Yet Anger Book, in my defense, what kind of person screams for Jesus' aid during an orgasm? What is wrong with the world, Anger Book? Save me from a storm. Keep my mother from dying during an operation. Stop a building that I am in from collapsing into rubble. But an orgasm? I squinted angrily up at the ceiling and raised my fist once more. And then, when I could bang no more, I finally yelled, "If Jesus fucking helps you with your goddamn orgasm, life will have no meaning." And it wouldn't. Thank you.